when I was playing the drums from the time I was like 12, and you know, with a couple of friends. We didn't have a bass player. We had two guys that played guitar, and me playing drums, and I sang. And then the Beatles broke, and my life changed, as all of ours did. And I bought an electric guitar. I was 13. And I learned Beatles songs at first. That's all I could do, because they were on the radio constantly. They had 5 of the top 5 singles, which is remarkable. I saw the Ed Sullivan Show, which spawned it on a Sunday night. And Monday after school, I bought an electric guitar. My mom did for me. But because I come from such a musical family, and she was a wonderful singer, but all of my uncles played, and my aunt and my grandmother played piano. And they were all singers, and they played violin, they played accordion, and I mean all kinds of stuff around the house. And they were, you know, World War II vets, and men who were brought up in a very musical, loving environment, which I was fortunate to have. So I got to meet and hang with all 4 of the Beatles, which was a thrill for me. But I got to meet and have dinner with Paul a couple times and play with Paul once, which was really cool because it was right before Wings Over America, that tour. I think it was 78 or whatever it was, 76, 78. And he was doing his last dress rehearsal. We were in Paris. I was doing something, a TV show or something. Anyway, I got up on the stage after they did their whole show, including all the, you know, pyro and everything else. And I had a couple of separate occasions. I've seen him many times over the years, and he knows what an amazing influence he was on me. But I got to know John quite well. And John came over to my house on New Year's Eve, 1974 to 5. And we were both just drunk out of our minds, literally, just legless. And he came over with a mutual friend, and we sat in my music room, and we started to play. He was playing like, "When the wind left me a long time ago." He was playing all that 1950s stuff that he was raised on. So I had to say this. This was about 1:30 in the morning. I said, you know, I recorded recently, Please Please Me. He said, yeah, it was great. I loved it. You heard it? Look, yeah. Anyway, we bonded quite well, and I said, can we sing some early Beatles songs? He said, I don't know. I'm not sure I remember any of them. So I retaught him, Please Please Me. I Want to Hold Your Hand. He knew She Loves Me. I'm sorry, She Loves You, yeah. Not She Loves Me. That was a show my dad did. I'm sorry. I'm stuck with my dad tonight. Yeah. He won a Tony Award for that on Broadway. Yeah. Mr. Jack Cassidy. Thanks, Dad. So I was in pig heaven. Thank you. I was. And I got to sing Paul's parts. Oh, was that cool. So I later became friends with he and Yoko, who quite honestly is a magnificent person. Loved him, she loved it. They loved each other so much. And she's a brilliant artist, she's a brilliant woman, and was really kind and really wonderful. I had dinner with them several times. I went to the Dakota and their apartment a few times in New York, and I became friends with John. And even when he was doing the rock and roll album out here, which was called You Should Have Been There, I spent some time, had dinner, lunch, and just hung out together in the afternoon, and then went to the studio where Phil Spector was producing it. Yeah, I didn't quite go there now. No. and he was walking around in the studio and fired off a shot from his pistol. Yeah. When he saw Cher walk in the room, he fired off the pistol and said, "Get out. You don't belong here." Needless to say, I was kind of like, okay, I think I'll be leaving now. But John and I had some wonderful times, and he wrote so many great songs. I think his voice as a human being, I respected him as much or more than any person I ever knew, because he would have given his life if he had the opportunity for peace. All we're saying is give peace a chance. Imagine there's no war, imagine there's no... And it's just like everything about him, he revealed in his lyric. And this is a song that I will sing with his lyric that relates so much to how I feel about you. And I mean each and every one of you. And I thank you, John, for writing this song and this lyric. Whatever it meant to you, it means the world to me. And I hope you will enjoy our version of it. There are places I remember all my life. Some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some are gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead and some they're still living in my life. I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and friends, I still can recall. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you all. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and friends, I still can recall. No, I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you all. The great John Lennon. So I'm going to sing. Oh boy.